acting out persuasive process used in marketing and making a sale. His speech is going to be from 8 to 12 minutes long. John is getting to know more of the Tampa Toastmasters and has appreciated the camaraderie of evident in the way everyone treats each other and is participating in every meet. He's still challenged with breaking the ice with potential new customers and realizes if he learns the process here at Toastmasters, then he will be much more successful in winning work for his engineering consulting company. It's not easy, but it would be worth the effort if he becomes a good sales engineer. Please put your hands together and join John for his speech. Don't be a pushy person.
Thank you. Shalom, Mr. Toastmaster. So what I'm going to speak to you about today, I'm embarking on a new journey for myself, trying to become a better salesperson. I never thought I would be saying that when I was younger. It's an important skill to have. I'm doing the first project where I'll be speaking about the sales process, and then we'll actually do some role playing. And then at the end, I'd like to have a roundtable discussion on what worked, what didn't, what you'd like to see done in the future for me. So how many times have you walked into a place and met up with Slick Sammy? How you doing? Right there, Frank has. Frank, how are you? I can see you're not married. You're looking for a suit, are you? You know, you don't need to be over here in the conservative aisle. Walk with me over here. This is the kind of suit that you want. It makes a statement. When you walk into the room, every head will turn. This salesman, with not only being rude, he's also not done the very first thing of being a good salesman, and that's get to know your buyer. Frank is married. Frank works at a bank, and he already knows what kind of suit he wants. He was in the correct place. He just needed some help maybe on finding the right size. Second person you might meet. When you're looking for a car, you go for a test drive. You say, what kind of engine does this have? And the salesman says, I'm not really sure. I think it's a 4-cylinder, but let me check on that for you. Well, how much, what's the price range of this vehicle? I'm going to have to talk to my salesman about that. He has no value to you, right? You're looking for him to give you all the stuff that possibly can be told about the product, and he doesn't know anything about it. He knows less than you do. So let's talk about some of the qualities that all good salesmen have. The first one, like I said, is get to know your buyer. And you do that by not walking in and just trying to make a sale. You listen to them. You try to make them feel comfortable. You talk about the weather. Then you want good listening skills. How many times have you asked a question sometimes? Maybe you're a little nervous, you just met someone, and you're not listening to the answer. Listen to your buyer. Find out not only what they're looking for in a product, try to find out a little bit about them. If you find out about them, not only can you help them toward the right product, but also you might be able to find something in common with them, and then they're going to have much more of a tendency to listen to you and buy from you. I have 3 other skills that a good salesman needs to have. You need to create value. And like I said in the first or the second example, that salesman did not create value. How you create value is being able to speak about the product concisely and give the person, the buyer, all the information he or she needs to make a good decision on what product to buy. You want to have credibility. You do this with, if you make a promise, let's follow through with it. Maintain a good attitude. You want to be friendly, courteous, and patient. Now let's look at what the buyer's point of view is. Everybody has gone into a store and purchased something. The first thing is you have an unsatisfied need that you want to go and take care of. You recognize whether or not that's important to you, whether you really want to make a purchase right now. Because you got to have a strong need to be able to bring your money out and buy something new, right? Sometimes we're looking for fulfillment. Maybe you like to be the first person on the block to have a new item, the iPhone 6, and you go out and you just are standing in line, ready to buy the first model out there. You're going to be the first one to bring that home. You evaluate your options. You want to gather information as you go out there before you make a decision, because you'd like to see what all is available. And then at the end, you make a decision on whether you're going to purchase that product or not. Maybe you won't. Maybe you decide not to purchase that day, or they didn't have the product that you were looking for. All right, my sales strategy will be what I've talked about. I'm going to try to build a rapport with the customer. I'm going to try to give them good information about the products. And at the end, I'm going to try to get a commitment from them to buy the product. Punel has been nice enough to partner with me to do this role play, whereby we're going to just be a Target store. Punel's walked in. This is one of those good Target stores where they have good customer sales. And I'm going to come up to him and try to tell him a little bit about coffee makers and help him with the sale.
So I'm looking to replace my coffee machine. I had a coffee machine that's percolator, and it's broken, so I need to replace. And I see you have a lot of different choices.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices out here. First of all, where are you from?
From Tampa.
Tampa? I've been in Tampa for about 2 or 3 years. There's so many things to do here. Why don't you pick Target?
It's convenient, it's cheap, it's good quality.
Well, Target has a lot to choose from. We go from the lower models to the fancy-dancy models, and I'll tell you a little bit about the product. But first, what are you using this coffee maker? Are you using it at home? Are you using it for business?
It's for home, and it's just me and my wife. We have coffee in the morning before we go to work. And we used to use just one of those things, but now it doesn't work. And now I see you have, different types. So I'm not sure which one is the best. There's a lot of new stuff, and I see the ones that are disposable ones. And
Sure.
So what's the best?
Well, I like Mr. Coffee for a basic model, right? And it's going to do the brewing with, you got ground coffee, you're going to have 12 cups or whatever amount of cups you want to have. It's no frills. It's easy to use, right? Then you have some models that you talked about, a Keurig model, which actually uses different types of coffee, where you can get 400 different flavors of coffee. So that will bring you into the realm of not just, here's my coffee, it's, wow, look what I have today. And then there is actually a model that does both. It's a combination model from Hamilton that will let you go ahead and use these cups if you'd like to, the flavored cups. But if you have your own coffee from Starbucks, it'll allow you to do that as well. What would be your goal? What do you want to accomplish here? Do you want to just replace what you have with in-kind, or is there some features you're looking for?
I think I like the idea of the individual cups, because then there's no waste. And, my wife can have her own flavor, maybe I can have my own flavor, but I'm also interested in that combination. I haven't heard of that before.
Right. Well, the Keurig model will allow you that, first of all, they'll give you the different cups of coffee, the different coffees and flavors and stuff like that. It's a lot easier to use because you don't have to measure anything in the morning. And I like it myself because I like to change around different types of flavors. I don't like to do the same thing every morning. The combination model is a little bit more expensive. When you go from basic to the combo model, we're looking at, you can buy a basic one for between $20 and $60. And this Keurig with the K-Cup is around $100 to $200. And the combination model start at $200 and work its way up to $300. Are there any other features you were looking for, like espresso,
No,
cappuccino?
usually you just have it for the morning. What about the cost though? I mean, those individual packets, does it make sense? Is it more expensive, or is it better to just get what I had, replace it for the refills?
Well, it is more expensive to get the flavors you're looking for. If you go out and buy the Maxwell House, that's going to be your cheapest way to go. It really is in what you want as far as taste. Do you really like coffee? Do you and your wife really like coffee?
Just to wake us up.
Just to wake you up. Well, I would probably recommend then you going with just the basic model.
Replace what I have.
Replace what you have. This model here, the cheapest model on the shelf, is a good model. It's worked for years. That's why it's so cheap nowadays, because they've perfected the process in making this machine. Now, if you want to go with a little bit better model, there's a stainless steel model that we have that's a little bit better quality. And it also gives you time of day. You can program it through the week for you and your wife. So maybe between those two, you may have a decision there that you want to look at. And we're talking about a difference of $30. We're talking $25 to $60.
I think I like the idea of the stainless steel and the programmable one. And I think you can just set it up at night and coffee's ready in the morning.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Well, would you like to go ahead and buy that model then?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Let me help you. I think you've made a great decision. I think you didn't buy something that you didn't need. You didn't come home with the beans from the Beanstalk, hijack from Beanstalk. And it's been a pleasure helping you. Thank you. Now that, my friends, is not easy to do. Because at the start, you don't really know this person coming in, right? And you want to build a rapport with them. And I think what was nice about Bunnell is he was a friendly person. He was already making the advancements. A lot of times you'll have to bring out that in the person, and you'll have to possibly take some bad attitudes at the start, but look at that as I'm just going to turn it around. Can we talk through the first part of it, the small talk? I do not like small talk at the beginning. How did I do on that? What could I do differently?
I didn't like
Sure.
I didn't like that at all. It's like I go into a store to buy something and I'm wearing my phone. What do you mean where am I from?
Too much probing into your personal life?
No, it's like you can't break already.
What do you think would be a better way of maybe breaking ice at the start?
You mean with small talk?
Sure.
I don't think people want any small talk when
Okay.
they come to the store. I really don't. You want to get prices what it is to look for. I'm looking for this particular thing. Can you show me what you have? You know, where is this so I can go and look at what the options are. And just let me look for a few minutes. Don't be breathing down my neck.
Okay.
You know, because I just recently had experience with vitamin store. I knew what I wanted. And she says, oh, but I'm looking at this and trying to read on this. And she kept saying, oh, but this and that and the other. I stopped and looked at her and I felt like saying, would you just leave me alone? So you don't want to drive anybody to that point.
Too pushy. Sounds
On that note, I was going to say I thought a great part of your small talk was the question, well, why did you choose this store? I thought that was crucial because it would certainly make me as a customer stop and think, why did I come here? And I think that's a very good conversation starter. It's not personal. It's. I think it definitely can be seen as you trying to make sure the person is going to have a full customer experience. So I would give thumbs up.
Thank you. I'm going to devote more time to the questions that I ask at the start because it sounds like that's pretty important.
Best icebreaker is, hey, to a lady, that's a nice dress, nice hair, or that's a good looking tie. That's a great color.
Whoa!
No, I-
That's only an afterwards. It only works afterwards.
I would appreciate it if you would write this down. I know we have a lot of people coming out. I've run out of time today. If you would please write it down for me, and we'll talk about it after the meeting. Thank you very much.